Hi, I'm Chef Christopher Koetke. U.S. soybean oil is a high-quality and versatile oil produced from soybeans sustainably grown in the United States. This oil has wide application throughout the kitchen. In this video, it's all about slow cooking meltingly soft caramelized onions and preparing earthy, chewy quinoa. Sautéing doesn't always require scorching hot heat. Low heat sautéing certain vegetables like onions brings out their flavors and makes them really fragrant. In these applications, U.S. soybean oil is the perfect cooking medium. Its advantage is its clean, neutral flavor that keeps the food's flavors front and center. So let's start by making some delicious caramelized onions. The first step, of course, is to take our onions, and what I've done is I've cut this one in half, and then all I'm going to do is cut them into relatively thin pieces. The trick here a little bit is the thinner you slice them, the easier they are to caramelize. The next step is I have my pan over here. It's been heating up a little bit, but not too much. Remember, this is about low heat. In goes the U.S. soybean oil, and that's going to help those onions just kind of break down and cook slowly over time, because then I just take the onions, place it into the pan, and at this point I want to season it with a little bit of salt, and of course you can put in all kinds of other flavors if you want, and then I just let the onions do their thing, cook slowly and get softer and softer and softer. Those onions are perfect. The soybean oil's neutral flavor means that when the onions are cooked, and you can see how much they kind of shrink down, you only taste the sweet and luscious flavors of caramelized onions. So now they're ready to serve with whatever you want to serve them with. Like, for instance, if you put them on this grilled chicken sandwich, just place them right on top. They're nice and hot. And the flavors with the onions and the chicken together is just delicious. So to make our grain dish, which is going to be quinoa today, often I like to start cooking grains by sautéing some onions, perhaps with a bit of minced garlic over low to medium heat to develop their flavors. U.S. soybean oil, which has no cholesterol, is an ideal oil for this because of its clean, neutral flavor. So you don't taste the oil, but rather the different ingredients in your grain dish. The first thing I'm going to do is take our U.S. soybean oil and pour a little bit into the pan. Now the pan is over kind of a low to medium heat. I don't want it to be super hot at this point. And then I'm going to take my diced onions and I'm going to put those into the pot. And I'm just going to let that cook. Now there's a word for this when you kind of saute over this lower heat to bring out flavor, and that's called sweating. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let those onions sweat until they're good and soft before I put in my quinoa. Once the onions are beautifully soft, it really brings out their flavor. Now I can put in the rest of the ingredients. So I'm going to put in my quinoa, and this is actually red, black, and white quinoa. Put the quinoa in, and I'm going to put in some water. The basic ratio is about 1 part quinoa to 2 parts of water. And of course, if you wanted to put in, other liquids, maybe a vegetable stock or a meat stock or something of that sort, not a problem. Any kind of liquid will work. And then of course a little bit of salt. What I need to do now is increase the heat, bring this up to a boil. Once it boils, turn it down, cover it, let it simmer for about 15 minutes, and then take it off the heat and just let it steam for a few more minutes. So I turned this off a couple minutes ago after it had cooked for 15 minutes, and you can see all the steam inside. It's light and fluffy, super delicious, smells amazing. Now at this point, you can do a lot of things with this quinoa. I mean, you could serve it like this, or maybe put in some other things, sauteed vegetables, grilled vegetables, maybe some pieces of tofu or some fresh herbs. So you can see how U.S. soybean oil produces wonderful results in low heat sautéing.